Do you have a WooCommerce store with products that have no description, very short text, or product pages that are not properly optimized for SEO? This happens all the time. We upload products, add the price, an image, maybe a few details, and in the end, the product description is weak, the short description is empty, there are no tags, the images have no ALT text, and the meta description is not optimized either. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use BotWriter to improve real WooCommerce products with artificial intelligence directly inside WordPress. BotWriter is a free WordPress plugin that allows you to generate content with artificial intelligence. But in this video, we are going to focus on one specific feature, the WooCommerce AI option. This feature is designed for online stores that want to improve their product content without writing every product page manually from scratch. And we are going to do it with real products, not with an empty demo. The goal of this demo is simple. We are going to enter a WooCommerce store, find products that need better content, and ask BotWriter to generate an optimized version. We are not going to publish anything blindly. First, we will see a preview of the generated content, review the results, and then apply the changes only if we are happy with them. This is important because AI is a very powerful tool, but in a real store, it is always a good idea to review the content before publishing it. The first step is to install BotWriter. To do that, go to your WordPress dashboard, open plugins, click Add New, and search for BotWriter. Install the plugin and activate it. Once it is activated, you will see the BotWriter menu in your WordPress admin panel. If you already have WooCommerce active on your website, BotWriter will also show the specific WooCommerce AI section. Before generating content, we need to configure the artificial intelligence provider. Go to BotWriter, then Settings. Here we can choose the text provider we want to use. The advantage of BotWriter is that you are not limited to a single provider. You can choose the model you prefer depending on quality, speed, or cost. For this demo, I'm going to use Google Gemini, which includes a free plan. We paste our API key, select the model, and save the configuration. Now we go to the BotWriter menu and open WooCommerce AI. Here we can see several sections. The main one is Bulk Optimizer, which allows us to optimize products in bulk. We also have categories to improve product category descriptions. We have History, where we can see the changes that have been applied and revert them if needed. And we have Settings, where we can customize the prompts BotWriter uses to generate each type of content. In this video, we will start with Bulk Optimizer because it is the most useful feature for a WooCommerce store with many products. Inside Bulk Optimizer, the first step is to select the products we want to improve. Here, we can filter products in different ways. For example, we can show all products, products without a description, products without a short description, or products with a description that is too short. This is very useful because many stores have hundreds of products, but not all of them need the same amount of work. We can start with the weakest products first. For example, I'm going to filter products that have an empty short description or a very poor product description. We can also search by name, select a specific category, filter by stock, or choose the product type. This allows us to work in an organized way. We don't need to optimize the entire store at once. We can start with one category, the best-selling products, or the products with the weakest content. 5:30, choosing the fields to generate. Once the products are selected, we move to the next step. Now we choose which fields we want to generate with artificial intelligence. BotWriter can help us with several product elements. We can generate the product title, although in a real store, I would normally be careful with this and only change it if the title is really poor. We can generate the long product description. We can generate the short description, which is very important in WooCommerce because it often appears next to the price and the add to cart button. We can also generate product tags. We can generate ALT text for images, which is very useful for accessibility and SEO. And we can also generate the SEO title and meta description compatible with the main SEO plugins. For this demo, I'm going to select the long description, the short description, and the tags. This way, we can see a fairly complete optimization without changing the main product title. One important thing about this feature is that BotWriter does not generate content completely blindly. The system uses real product information. It can use the product name, the current description, the short description, categories, tags, attributes, images, and other available information. This is important because when we work with a real store, we do not want AI to invent data. We want it to improve the writing, structure the content better, and turn a weak product page into something more useful for the customer. But always based on the real information we already have in WooCommerce. In the next step, we choose the AI provider we want to use for this generation. We can also choose the language of the content. This is very practical if you have a store in Spanish, English, French, or any other language. The idea is for the final text to sound natural, clear, and sales-oriented, but without exaggerating and without inventing technical specifications. Now we start the generation. BotWriter begins processing the selected products and generates the fields we selected. Depending on the number of products, the AI provider, and the length of the text, this may take more or less time. For this demo, I'm using only a few products because I want to show the full workflow clearly. In a real store, I recommend starting the same way. Select a few products, review the result, and adjust the prompts if needed. Once you like the result, you can start working with more products. Now comes one of the most important parts. BotWriter does not apply changes directly without showing them first. First, it shows us a preview. We can see the generated content for each product and check exactly what is going to change. Here, we review the long description, the short description, the tags, the image, alt text, and the meta description. This step is essential. If we don't like something, we can choose not to apply it, adjust the prompt, or generate it again. The idea is not to completely replace human review, but to save the hardest part of the work, starting from zero. AI gives us a strong first draft, and we make the final review. Once we have reviewed the result, we can apply the changes. BotWriter updates the selected products in WooCommerce. Now let's open one of those products to see the result. Here, we can see the generated long description. We also have the short description, which is now clearer and more commercial. And we can see the product tags. Now let's compare the before and after. Before, we had a product with very little content. Maybe it had only one sentence, a generic description, or nothing at all. Now we have a more complete product page with a useful description for the customer, a short description that is more focused on conversion and product tags. This does not mean that every product will be perfect on the first try, but it does mean that we have gone from a weak product page to a much better starting point in very little time. And in a store with many products, this can save many hours of work. Another very important part is the history. BotWriter stores information about the changes that have been applied. This allows us to check which products have been optimized, and if we are not happy with the result, revert the changes. This gives us a lot of peace of mind, because when you work with real products, you do not want a tool that overwrites content without any way to go back. Here we can see the optimized products, review the changes, and recover the previous content if needed. For me, this is a key feature in any serious automation tool. In addition to individual products, BotWriter can also help with WooCommerce categories. This is very interesting for SEO. Many stores have important categories that can rank on Google, but the category description is empty or only has one short line. For example, a category like coffee machines, running shoes, pet accessories, or sports supplements can be a very important page. From the Categories tab, we can select categories and generate an optimized description using the context of the products inside that category. This way, we not only improve individual product pages, but also WooCommerce archive pages. Another interesting option is settings. Here we can customize the instructions BotWriter uses to generate each field. For example, we can modify the prompt for the long description, the short description, tags, alt text, or meta description. This is useful because not every store has the same tone. A technical store may need a more precise style. A fashion store may need a more inspiring tone. A B2B store may need more professional language. And a local store may prefer a more friendly and approachable tone. The good thing is that you can adapt BotWriter to your brand style. My recommendation is to start with the default prompts, test them with a few products, and then adjust the instructions depending on the result you want. Before finishing, I want to share a few best practices. First, do not optimize the entire store at once without testing first. Start with 5 or 10 products. Second, always review the content before applying it, especially if you sell technical products. Third, do not let AI invent specifications. If a product has measurements, materials, compatibility details, or technical data, those should come from the real product information. Fourth, use the history and rollback option if something does not convince you. And fifth, create prompts adapted to your store. The better your instructions are, the better the results will be. In summary, BotWriter for WooCommerce allows you to optimize products in bulk using artificial intelligence. You can improve long descriptions, short descriptions, tags, image alt text, SEO titles, meta descriptions, and category descriptions, all directly from WordPress using the AI provider you prefer, with a preview before applying changes and a history system so you can go back if needed. For a store with many products, this can be a huge help. This is not about publishing automatic content without control. It is about speeding up the work, improving weak product pages, and saving time while keeping the final review in the hands of the store administrator. If you have a WooCommerce store and want to try BotWriter, you can download it from wordpress.org. I recommend starting with a few products, testing the prompts, and seeing how it adapts to your store. I'll leave the link in the description. And if this video was useful, you can leave a like and subscribe for more tutorials about WordPress, WooCommerce, artificial intelligence, and automation.